when he's done here.
It's not loud enough.
Hey, as long as he can hear. Welcome everybody to the LA School of Comedy's open mic night. It's Manic Monday, and happy Memorial Day, and thank you to all of our service people. I don't want to service women, service men, service people, because I couldn't do that. I can't imagine. I just can't imagine. I can't. I ran cross country and I was horrible. I was so horrible. How horrible was I? I came in last in somebody else's race. I got lost in the woods. My family was looking for me. It was terrible. It was just terrible. I stopped and had a cigarette in between on top of it. Because I was like, I got to get out of these woods. I was running with these white kids. It was stupid of me. Cross country of all things. I start out like real strong. And when you go to Catholic school, there's no, that's fun. I don't know why I'm mentioning Catholic school. Because I've been hearing from all my friends from Catholic school lately. And it's funny because we have a kid here that goes to a Catholic school. And I think that we really do all belong to some kind of brotherhood that we don't know about. If you go to Catholic school, like there are just some things that are so opposite from being Jewish, you have no idea. Jews can't whisper, and you will be clocked in the head if you talk during Mass. How different is that? Jews they encourage the kids to read. It's like, shut up, sit still. Especially Italians, stop it, hitting the kid, be quiet, be quiet. Oh my God, I had to do that news story about the baby drowning in the baptismal thing. I used to do these stories, this is years ago. I needed the money. So I would write these crazy stories for, not the Inquirer, even worse. The one that was worse, the World Weekly or something.
World News, no way.
Oh my God, I forgot my name that I wrote under. But I wrote these stories that didn't happen. And he was yawning as I was writing them. And I wrote about this Colombian woman from Medellin who had implants with cocaine in them, and she was an epileptic and had a seizure on the flight. And as they were trying to help her with the epilepsy, they discovered cocaine. I never thought that would be a true story, like 15 years later. I mean, can you imagine these stories I'm selling? I made up. But it could happen, you know? The only implants I want are in my mouth, all right? I wouldn't give a shit about my tits, as long as I can eat a hamburger. I don't know why I'm listening to my husband the other night. He says that not Australian, Argentinian steakhouse is open again. We love this place. Yeah, when I had teeth. All right? And I ordered steak. Thank God I ordered the mashed potatoes. So when they knew me, and this poor guy the other day, it was so funny. What's his name? His last name is Troy. Gregory Troy.
He's a veteran.
I know.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. And we love our service people, really. Somebody has to do it. I mean, happy Memorial Day. And you know who else? Natalia's father. I can't remember anybody's name.
Willie.
Let me tell you something. What is it?
Willie.
Willie. It is Willie. Willie Ortega.
It really is Willie.
It really is. It's really Willie. But the really Willie won't go home. Nobody knows that song. You're too old. I'm too old. I'm way too old for this shit. I'm going to tell you that. But I'm going to be working soon. So if you guys have a chance and you want to see the assembly of the National Cantors Association, I will be performing at the Laugh Factory this week. Well, June 6th, right? June 4th. June 4th. And on June 6th, I'll be at the Four Seasons.
Yeah.
So come out for that, for something with the Cannes Film Festival. And it has nothing to do with me. I'm not in anything. But they said they needed somebody who doesn't know politics. And I said to myself, what do you mean don't know politics? And he goes, we want people to laugh. We don't want to hear anything about what's going on in the world. And I said, that would be a change coming from where I come from, meaning my partner. I'll tell you about my partner later. But first, let's talk about my business partner over here, Aaron McIntyre, who's in charge of the Film Actors Cafe, and there's your comedy concierge, Samantha Linderman. We are so happy for her because she gets it done. I don't know how. Only during funerals are we the best.
Right.
Amazing, right? I've gone for 3 days, turned into 30. Who was prepared for that? I didn't have enough makeup. And when you need your posting done, we have Billy Ramirez does the best things with social media that I cannot do because I changed my password and now I can't get back into my thing. It's just terrible. It's really terrible. And I had to record a funeral. And it was just, how did I do on the funeral?
How'd you what?
Did anybody see it?
I didn't watch the funeral.
Oh, good. I didn't know if somebody said to me, should I give you a thumbs up? He said, yeah, because I'm not going down there. Not yet. And then I thought very bad things about my aunt that died, horrible things. And then I said a prayer because, you see, with the Jewish guilt and the Catholic guilt, it makes you crazy. It makes you completely crazy. And I said to God, please don't put her in hell. But you could put her in limbo, can't you? Let her stay in fucking limbo, okay? Purgatory. Is it purgatory? The Jews?
Yeah, they got rid of limbo.
They got rid of limbo. Shit.
Baptized baby.
Oh my God. Oh my God. They remember limbo?
Limbo was scary. The scariest shit.
The scariest shit I ever said.
Oh my God.
That nun said, Sunderland Krunquist, you're going to limbo. And she didn't mean limbo. No. You're going to hell, bitch. That's what she was saying to me. That's okay. We always love the nuns. None of this and none of that. We're going to get started just like that. And I'm going to get you started with your in-house photographer. I forgot to say his name before, but Hunter. No, I know that. Thank you, though, for reminding me, because I would call him Hunter Biden, because that's what I'm really in love with. But let's bring up Hunter White to the stage, ladies and gentlemen.
Keep it going for Sunda. I love it. Did you see my set at the funeral? I want you to bear with me. I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to do kind of more story thing. So just bear with me. It's Monday. How we feeling, guys? Yeah. We're in it. We all have parents, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does anyone have, like, family traditions they did, like, every week? Anyway, yeah, what did you do, Sam?
Shabbos.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
You want to work in this business, you better learn.
I know. I'm trying to be polite. I don't know. Okay, so like my family's tradition was every Friday we would go to Longhorn Steakhouse, me, my brother, my stepfather, my mother, and we'd go with their friends who we'd met up with previously at the Narcotics Anonymous meeting. Yo, this was my tradition every Friday. And like, I don't know. If you've never been to an anonymous meeting, first off, congratulations, you're doing great. And secondly, so the way it's set up is it's usually in the basement of a church, and there's a big room, and then like a lot of wild shit gets said in that room, and then outside there's some benches or some stairs, and like children or people not in the meeting hang out. And I was one of those children, eventually. My parents got sober before I came around, so I was just in the meetings as an infant, right? Who needs a babysitter, right? Like, I get to experience trauma before memory. Infants should meet people going through active detox. Woo, okay. We're working on it. And I don't know, my parents, they were like really in the program. Like they went nights, weekends, holidays. I tell you y'all, ex-partiers threw a great Labor Day party. They get down, it's great. And I don't know, I should slow down.
Don't slow down.
Don't slow down. Okay, woo, woo, woo. All right, so, no, I don't know. I don't have like any weird feeling. Like they did what they had to do. I get it. All good. I might do that same thing in their situation. And they probably thought like, what's the worst that could happen? A lot. And maybe they thought it would like impart some wisdom on me, which I think it did, but I think that had like unintended consequences. Because the wisdom was not like the dangers of drug and alcohol. It was like hurt people, and focus your energy on things that you can control. And taken too far, drugs and alcohol will give you fantastic stories. Right? Like, ain't nobody tell a story like a 25-year sober, active biker gang member. Right? Like, it left that experience less anti-drug, more pro-moderation. Right? Because the stories I was hearing... The stories I were hearing was just like a lesson on like how far is too far, right? Like it was kind of a fucked up inspirational thing. And so like besides like a two and a half year summer romance with a lady called cocaine, I think I've been very like mindful in my approach. And I don't know. I try to stay away from like the problem, like the risky drugs, right? Like drinking, I do it. It's not really my thing. And when I was really into cocaine, 2016, I was also really into politics. And those are a fun combo, right? Like I would just do cocaine and yell about Hillary Clinton, right? Like that was my ideal Friday night. I was really into politics. And then one day I suddenly smoked some DMT, and then I was really into trees. I have an end. Right? Like before I wanted to like do new drugs, and now I want to find out what is in the Vatican. Cool, I'll remember that. Cool. Thank you for bearing with that. Thank you so much. I don't know. I think about addiction a lot because of like my parents, and I feel like there's a lot of shame around addiction, but also we like glorify some and don't realize it. Like I will forever be confused why from like high-end amusement parks to like low-end Florida towns, every single one has gift shops filled with coffee cups. Like, I don't get that. Think about it. That's like if you bought a cocaine spoon at the aquarium. Like, big caffeine one, y'all. And I don't want to hear, like, oh, it's not an issue, because that sneaks up on you, right? Like, I'm okay saying I have, like, a trepidatious relationship with marijuana. I am completely confident saying I have a crippling caffeine problem. Right? Like, oh, it's not that big a deal, Hunter. Really? Have you ever fallen asleep driving? Or while your girlfriend wants to watch the rehearsal? Equally bad. This is fun. You guys are fun. We're mighty and strong on Memorial Day. The world is not designed for polite people. If it was, turn signals would go, excuse me. Hazards would go, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. That was a fun one. That's for me. No, I consider myself a polite person, trying to be a nice person. Nicer, I guess, because I realize I have walking around like I don't like people face. So people don't think I'm friendly, so I'm trying to be more nice in public. And I realize when you're genuinely nice to people in Los Angeles, they are genuinely confused. They don't know what to do with that, you know? Like, I don't know. If you, like, wish an LA service worker, like, a good day, like, genuinely, like, oh, thank you. I hope you really have a wonderful week. They just kind of freeze. They just stare at you like they're unpacking a zip file. Just like, 70, 80, 90, 100%, thank you. And you just wander away. I'm trying to figure out an ending to that. It's great. It's grand. We're having fun, people.
All that matters.
It's all that matters. Have fun. It's cliche, but it works. I just moved, which is cool. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. Yeah. It's never ending. But I just moved, and it's cool, like, exploring more of Los Angeles, because when I moved here, I've been in the same area ever since. Really nice area, like, near the beach. Beautiful families. It's great. I just didn't really fit in very much. So now I moved more into the city, and it's great. I like where I am. Because, like, I didn't fit in at the other place because, like, I don't know, it was beautiful. Everything was perfect. Nothing was out of place. And when nothing's out of place, I feel out of place, you know? Right? Like, I don't know, there were families walking around, and then I was smoking weed, walking my dog, writing jokes, which writing jokes is code word for talking to myself. It's a bad look, just 7 a.m., like, so Lemon, what do you think about flat moon? Why no one talk about flat moon? It's a bad look when you're the least put together person on the block. So I got out of there. And I don't know, it's annoying moving, but now I have to move again. Yeah, exactly. And it's just a weird situation, because, like, there's nothing wrong on paper. But, like, me and the roommate, like, we get along, he's nice, I be nice. Like, we mesh, but, like, as we got to know each other, we realized he's, like, devoutly religious, and I am a high-functioning degenerate. Right? Like, some have called me a heretic. So we made an amicable divorce. We made Mama proud. We don't want to move. I talk too much about drugs in this set, so let's not do that. I'm 31, which I like, because I never understood why people were weird about turning 30, because I resented my 20s so much, because I felt like, and I was right, that the minute you turn 30, people like care what you think, even if you don't think, right? Like 20s for me, the summation of it was like you're at a party with people you don't know, and you're trying to talk to them, but they're just not paying attention. You're just like, hey, hey, be my friend, I have ideas. And no one acknowledges you, but the second you turn 30, they go, oh, hey, you, what do you think about everything? Foreign policy, tax brackets, gay stuff. I don't know. You made it 30 years. You have thoughts. I don't know. My name's Hunter White. You guys are fun. Give it up for yourselves for coming out. Give it up for Sunda for putting this on. Give it up for Mark for coming out. By the way, I pulled up in a Waymo earlier. It pulled up next to Mark. I think Mark thought it was going to hit him. Have a great night.
Thank you. And who's at the door? Somebody's coming in? They walked out. Oh, they're coming back. But they're coming back. Okay. So speaking of coming back, we haven't seen this guy for a long time. I know him as a friend, a partner, and my sponsor. You know him as America's sweetheart. Let's give it up for Mark Safran. 5 minutes at least, Mark. Come on.
Oh my God.
Just come on. You haven't been up, and it's good for your
true.
leg.
There's a good reason
He
for
has
that.
to have surgery.
Oh my God.
It's amazing how your wife would tell all your business. There's a couple of gaps in her stories in case no one ever notices. You know, I'm getting old now, so I can't remember all the inconsistencies. All right, there was a couple of good ones, but we won't get into them too quickly. You know, I haven't been here in a while.
We miss
I
you.
miss all of you. It's been a momentous couple of months in New York. I had to go to a black funeral. Well, I see nobody here has been at a black funeral. They're very interesting events, especially when it's the last of them. Well, we got one more to go. Anyhow, Sunda's aunts. So she does, she doesn't tell the whole story about some of these things that go on. You know, she kind of like sanitizes them. It's like a journalist's view of Joe Biden's career. You know, they kind of like wash away some of the crazy shit. Like, hey. Like somebody said to me today something about, looking like an Oompa Loompa. I said, hell, you could be president of the United States and look like an Oompa Loompa. Or you could be president of the United States and look like a corpse. Or, be a corpse. Or something of that nature. Well, it's been a momentous period of time. I have almost no idea what I want to say because I forgot everything on the way up. It's called turning a certain age. All of a sudden, it's like names and faces start to go away, and I'm trying not to be too political. It's just too much fucking to say. I mean, come on. All of a sudden, everybody wakes up, and Joe ain't there. Like, I looked at it. You heard me on this stage. I predicted it. I am owed a massive apology by America. I warned them. I warned them that it was weekend at Bernie's.
Oh my God.
Nobody believed it. And the best is Bernie Sanders now goes on his oligarchy tour by private jet. I mean, how sublime can it be? With AOC. You think they're doing it?
Oh my God.
You think he's giving it a high hard one, as my ex-partner used to say? That'd be pretty funny. He's just 80 years old. She likes the wisdom of the ages. She doesn't catch much of it. But, she might like it. Anyhow, the thought of Bernie Sanders and AOC, I'm jealous. I mean, come on, what else is there? Nancy Mace? You don't want to get into that. You got to admit, Joe, a lot of much prettier looking women in Washington these days. You did get a little tired of looking at Karine Jean-Pierre and the other one. What was her name? The one on CNN now. Oh, the redhead. Nothing like a redhead, right? You can't believe a redhead.
Jen
Psaki, right?
Can't believe it, right?
Jen Psaki. How do you pronounce her name?
Psaki.
Is that the real name? She's named after alcohol.
Oh my God.
Is she? But you go to there. No offense, Patty, but she looks Irish. Where did she get the Czechoslovakian name from? Is that red hair and that bleached out face?
I think it's shortened.
You think it's shortened? What's the Irish equivalent of sake?
Here.
What are you talking about?
Alcohol.
Beer never touches their lips. It's Bushmills and nothing else.
For us, it would be like a heroin addict having methadone. It doesn't interest us at all. It's
So
child's play.
speaking of heroin addicts,
Oh my God.
the scariest thing, I haven't read the book that came out. I don't like Jake Tapper. And to give him my money, it kind of like really bothers me. I'm waiting for it to get into the bin somewhere.
Oh my God.
You know, because or somebody else to buy it and then I'll read it. Because giving him that money kind of bothers me. But it is kind of interesting. I have lived through some major catastrophes in my lifetime. I'm old enough to remember Abe Fortas. None of you know who that was. That was a Supreme Court judge who they thought was taking bribes. Things never change. I lived through Watergate. That's not too many people in this room that can say they lived through Watergate. I watched JFK got shot. I watched Martin Luther King got shot. I watched Jesse Jackson make believe he was crying when Martin Luther King got shot, and all he was thinking is everybody gets a promotion. It's true. You know, he was gunning for Ralph Abernathy that week. You know, it's funny, but I've been through all these scandals, Watergate, all of them, right? This one has to be the funniest. If you can't find humor in a president of the United States kept in a basement. See, here I was, it was COVID, right? And I'm stuck in that room over there, right behind you. That little
That nobody
stinky
knows
office.
it exists.
That
but
nobody.
Go ahead.
So people, I used to get on Zoom calls. And people say, "Where the fuck are you?" I used to say, "I'm in my wife's, studio in the office there." But as I sat through COVID and I sat through the elections and I heard about Joe in the basement, because the LA School of Comedy was totally open during COVID. We followed not a single restriction. Nobody wore a mask. Everybody came in here and coughed and shared joints, right? Everything you weren't supposed to. What, you think they weren't going to pass around reefer? These are comics, for God's sakes. Bad enough we had Moody outside passing around the bottle. I mean, come on. So I sat through COVID, and this man's in his basement. I said, "There's something wrong here. There was something definitely wrong." So we went through all of it, and the Hunter Biden laptop and everything else. Only this week to hear Dan Bongino, if I got his name right. They are reopening the story of whose cocaine it was in the White House.
No.
They should turn that into a game show question. All right? On any one of those crazy game shows, and for $25 behind the next door, whose cocaine was it in the White House? And the problem is there aren't that many answers. It was either Hunter's or Joe's. But now, watching his wife, it might have been hers. I mean, she had to get pretty high to keep up with those two. Anyhow. Plenty of things coming along. You should all be happy I am not reading that book. Because I would come here every week and tell you excerpts from it that I didn't hear on Fox News. Anyhow, God bless all here and happy Memorial Day.
Thank you.
We really do have to remember our troops and their sacrifices so that we all can stand here and make fun of people
That's
and
true.
not go to a prison camp.
That's true. Oh my God. That's true. I had to do a show with these guys from Ethiopia, and they had me change so much stuff. All I did was say to the wife, "Don't you want to see more females in Ethiopia?" And she said, "No." And I wasn't ready for that. She doesn't want to see more female comedians. I understand why. Because you guys are going to get ready to see one. The comedy concierge that does it all. The one and only Samantha Linderman.
Keep it going for Sunda and Mark. We're at the LA School of Comedy. Happy Memorial Day. I do thank veterans. I thank veterans, and because I'm Gen Z, I brag about it. At Bath and Body Works, I would always say thank you for your service. And then they said, don't say that. No, they didn't. They didn't. That's not true. They told me to stop calling women queen at work. And then the same thing happened at the elementary school I work with. So that was really upsetting. I've decided to start writing things down.
All right.
I know, right? Isn't that beautiful?
It is.
Not amazing. I got this notebook for free. So I was recently, so I'm sober. Yeah, don't clap. You never know what's going to happen, right? No, I'm kidding. But I really like people watching drunk people, especially people who are not drunk the way that I was drunk, happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, watching a happy drunk is really funny. A lot of people, well, I guess nobody in this room really knows, unless you've been on the other end of it, but I'm known for prank calling. I'm really good at it. I've done it since I was about 12 years old. I used to call people and say your laundry's ready for pickup. And one time this woman went, I thought it was supposed to be Friday.
Oh my God.
And I said, no, it's right now. And she's like, oh my God, I'm going to go. And it keeps me up at night that I did that. But my friend, I don't know if this is going to be funny. I'm going to try it out. If it's not funny, we'll throw it out. And good thing it's not being recorded. But today, oh my God, side note. Today I went to a bris. Does anybody know what a bris is?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a circumcision, but it's, with the family. It's together. It's not just the baby. It doesn't have to go through it alone. There's a rabbi. There's your whole family. Sunda was like, how are the bagels? Bagels? I'd never seen catering at a bris. It was catered. They had meat, and it was on a stick, and they were chopping meat. Well, oh my God, chopping up meat. I'm sorry. That's crazy. But it was really great food. That's so Jewish to be like, well, the food at the bris was really good. I could tell the rabbi wanted to be a comedian. That was really triggering. He kept going, that was supposed to be a joke. And I'm like, I thought you were supposed to be a rabbi. I thought you were supposed to get this done. We all drove here. We all drove to San Diego to see this. But what was my point about that? I don't know, but it was a good day. It was a good bris. Best bris I've ever been to today, out of all the 5 that I've been to. It was really special. So, but yeah, I'm a prank call connoisseur, and my friend wanted to do a prank call, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna be a really good judge because I'm a professional. And he prank calls this place. Has anybody heard of Black Bear Diner?
Yep.
I never heard of this place, right? He's fucked up. He thinks he's calling Domino's, and he's like, yeah, I had one of your pizzas, and now I've been in the bathroom for 3 days straight, and I've lost multiple job opportunities with Fortune 500 companies. Everybody at my job is calling me Mr. McShits and all this stuff, and it was like really funny. And then the guy goes, we don't sell pizza. He goes, we don't sell pizza. What did you buy? And he goes, well, it's right here on the receipt. He goes, what does the receipt say? And then he goes, I ate it. He's on the phone with this guy for like 20 minutes. And it's like scary. I'm like, why are you not at work? Like, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, you got 20 minutes to waste at work. Turns out we were talking to Black Bear Diner in Texas the whole time. We thought we were in the valley. He's in Texas. He kept saying 6 in the morning, and I was like, it's not 6 in the morning, but it was for him. And then he called back, and he goes, is this Mr. Shit? And I thought that was really funny. Then we start kind of interviewing him, and we were like, where'd you work before Black Bear Diner? And he said that he used to work at a mom and pop shop. We were like, what happened? And he was saying that basically he told us that somebody came in and shot mom and pop. And he said it like it was nothing. Like, I can't get into the details because it's so gruesome to say, like, and I was like, did we just uncover the murderer? Like, he knew details about this mom and pop shooting that, like, I know we're not in the news. Like, he was like, the mom went first and then the dad killed him. I was like, what the fuck happened before Black Bear Diner? I gotta find a way to work. It was just so crazy to be like, okay. So we really bonded with him, and I was like, if you want to do a podcast, no, stop. Come on out. I remember how upset my mom was when I told my dentist to do a podcast. We went to the bathroom together, and she said, you never say the word podcast at the dentist ever again. I don't want you to do that ever again. But speaking of doctors, I don't know what something made me think about therapy, and since Mark's here, I'll talk about it. No, stop. Every time Mark's here, I talk about therapy. I haven't been doing it in a long time. Isn't that great? Not therapy, but talk about it. So the first time I went to a psychiatrist was a very formative experience. I get there, it's like smaller than this room. This room's huge. This is like a eighth of this room. I can tell right away, okay, the secretary's married to the psychiatrist. That's fine. But why is there tension in the waiting room? It's like, I'm here to get psychiatric help, and you guys are fighting. It's making me uncomfortable. He goes, do you want your mother to come in to give a history? And I'm like, only 17. Like, she knows more about my, like, I can't remember before 14. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, she knows my history. Come on in. We sit down. The first question he asked me verbatim, not if, but when was the last time you thought about killing yourself? That's rude. You're gonna look at me and assume that I thought about ending. You're gonna look at this face and go, she must have thought about, not if, when. And I'm like, that's not history, dude. Like, I'm not gonna talk about that in front of my mother. What's wrong with you? I was like, me? Never, 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 never. I wanna live forever. And we talked for like 30 minutes. It was horrible. I mean, no chemistry. And at the end, he diagnoses me with the following. Anxiety, depression, obviously. And then he goes, you have ADHD girl type. I'm like, what does that mean? Wait, what does that mean? It's pink? Like, what does that mean? ADHD girl type. Instead of Adderall, we give you Ozempic because if you're skinny, you'll be happy. Like, what does that mean? What does that mean, ADHD girl type? I want to know. ADHD, but ADHV? Like, what are you talking about? Girl type, it's not a real thing. I looked it up. And the internet's always right. Then he diagnosed me with autoimmune disorder I didn't have, but he was researching it, so that makes sense. And then he said possible Tourette's. And I lose my shit. I said, Tourette's? He goes, possible. I go, if I have fucking Tourette's, I start sounding like I go, if I have fucking Tourette's, then my father has fucking Tourette's. And he goes, let's only talk about people in this room.
Oh.
I said, okay. If I have possible motherfucking Tourette's, then you have Tourette's, your wife has Tourette's, my mom. And it was like the worst experience of my life. I didn't leave him a Google review, so I'm doing it like through this. I don't remember his name. If I described him, he'd look like every other psychiatrist. But wasn't that crazy? ADHD girl type. I was a part of a lesbian therapist couple love triangle. I didn't mean to. All I was doing was just being there, you know. The two therapists, they would show up in each other's clothes, and they're like, oh my God, we're best friends. I'm like, okay, you're best friends. Usually best friends don't talk about being best friends so much. And one would say I reminded her of the other one, and then I found out they were together, and I was like, oh, so you love me like that? You're in love with me? That's crazy. I wasn't invited to the wedding, but she wanted to come to my comedy shows, so I had to ghost her, and I did prank call her. I would prank call her, and I'd be like, hello? And that's the only thing I would say. There's nothing like being in group therapy, you know, the third time. And the therapist, you can tell when a therapist does not want to hear what somebody has to say. And this girl's talking. He's like, Sam, what do you think? I'm not getting paid. You're not going to hear what I have to think. If I say what I have to think, people are going to get triggered. So that's a little bit about group therapy. There was this one girl in group therapy. She was only there for her diabetes. For some reason, that really upset me. I don't know why. I was like, there has to be a different group for this. Diabetes and divorce, the two D words that were like all in group therapy. And then I'm in group therapy talking about I want to be a comedian. And they're like, I'm pretty sure you're in the right city for that. So that's really funny. Yeah, I don't know. Love you guys. Okay, so I'll do a couple announcements. So we have a show coming up. First of all, go see Sunda. Go see Sunda on the 4th and the 6th. That's so exciting. Laugh Factory and the Four Seasons. I was about to say, like, are we getting a free night? No, stop. That'd be awesome. That'd be great. I know. Pay for hair and makeup. Stop it. Four Seasons. I didn't know Four Seasons was fancy like that, but it is. Okay, so we have a show at the Haha on June 12th. Please come out. It's going to be a great night. The first one was amazing. It's going to just keep getting better. And our kids' summer camp is starting very shortly, mid-June. We're going to have acting, improv, comedy. Bring your own lunch.
Right.
Bring your own lunch. We're not dealing with food allergies, okay? Bring your own lunch. And we have acting classes every Tuesday with Erin McIntyre. Yes. And that's it. Love you guys.
Where do they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at SamLikeTBH or at LA School of Comedy. Beautiful. Having more of this.
Oh, Samantha, you are so funny. You're so funny, but girl type.
Girl type.
You're girl type funny. You're girl type funny. So now you're out. Now we're in. Now we're gonna bring up the comedy of the one and only Quinn. Where are you? Let's do it.
Yeah. Hey guys, thanks for having me. So excited to be here. Okay, I want to start with my favorite joke of all time. And I didn't write this joke, but it's what made me first fall in love with comedy. Okay. Why do women prefer older gynecologists? Does anyone know?
I don't know.
My mom taught me that when I was 7. I'm super excited to be here. I normally work on Mondays, but I got the day off for Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day. I normally babysit, and I babysit for this cute little girl, Lucy. She's 8, and the other day she said to me, she goes, I think my mommy's an alcoholic. And I was like, oh my God, Lucy, why do you think that? And she was like, well, my daddy told me that if I find any wine bottles around the house, I have to pour them out and not tell anyone that mommy's drinking. And I was like, oh my God, Lucy, it sounds like you're having such a hard time keeping a fucking secret. Maybe that's why mommy's drinking so much, you know? But it was so hard. It's like, how do you explain addiction to a little kid, you know? So I tried to put it in her terms. I was like, okay, Lucy, you know how when you have one cookie, you just want to keep on eating cookies? That's why mommy keeps drinking wine, because she has a fat daughter. I got fired. I'm super excited to be here. I just moved to LA. I just finished my sophomore year of college, thanks. And I lived in LA once before I moved here because I wanted to be an actress. And I got cast in one role that I can really only describe as sort of soft porno. And I say a soft porno because obviously in a real porno, you know, the women are fully paid. And but when I was here, I started to get kind of all my friends here were into super woo-woo shit, like astrology. And I love astrology, but it was annoying because I was dating this guy, Liam, and all my LA girlfriends just refused to believe we're compatible. Just because I'm a Scorpio and Liam's cheating on me, you know? It's crazy. But I decided when I was leaving LA that I was gonna do a road trip, and I drove to New Jersey and I performed stand-up every night along the way. And I'm not a very good driver. I can't drive at night. I can't merge on the highway, and I can't park within 100 yards of Liam's house. But I was driving across the country, and I performed one night in Maumelle, Arkansas. And a man yelled to me from the audience. He goes, "I'm gonna roofie you." And I was like, I feel like you kind of fumbled it by letting me know beforehand. Kind of ruined the surprise. But I looked over and he was this old man. He was trembling. I was like, you would be a great gynecologist. Let's see. I've been working on something new. When I was 9, my parents forced me to go to therapy because I was really scared I was going to grow up and join ISIS. I'm just like prone to peer pressure, and I felt like if they invited me, I wouldn't know how to say no. But my therapist told me, she was like, Quinn, if you were going to join ISIS, you wouldn't be worried about joining ISIS. And then I was like, okay, that makes sense. And then I was like, none of my friends are worried about joining ISIS. Does that mean they're all secretly joining ISIS? And then I was like, holy fuck, I'm being excluded from ISIS. But I grew up and I didn't join ISIS. I do comedy, so I still bomb, but it's different. Thanks. I also went to therapy because I was really scared. I was secretly a lesbian and I didn't know. And I'm not saying that being an ISIS and being a lesbian are anywhere near the same level of fear. I mean, one group doesn't believe women should be able to drive anything besides a Subaru. And but I was worried that deep down I was secretly lesbian and I didn't know. Because I was in the 5th grade and someone left a note in my locker that said, hey, Quinn, have you ever thought about being with girls? And I now know it was from a girl in my class, but at the time I thought it had come from God, which I think is so fun to imagine that like God was up in heaven and he was like, ugh, I'm so bored with all this earth shit. I wonder if Quinn would ever munch box. I have one last joke that I've been working on. I always hear people wonder, is God a woman? Is God a woman? But I never hear people wonder, was Jesus a woman? And to me, it seems so obvious that he was. I mean, the long hair, the dresses, everyone's waiting for him to come again, but it was kind of a miracle he even came the first time. But the kicker for me is all the drama with Judas. You guys know the Last Supper? Because the Last Supper would not be a story at all if they were women. I mean, it's a meal with a friend who ends up backstabbing you because they're jealous of how many people like you and how many followers you have. That's not the Last Supper. That's brunch. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Sunda, for hosting. Happy Memorial Day.
And tell me where we can find you on social
Oh,
media.
at Quinn Tierfelder, Thier Felder.
There you go. Great, and thank you and congratulations to Nick
Yes.
Narian.
Yes.
Narian. I'm saying things all wrong now. But they worked here and just did magnificent, and they won that award, the Duke Award. And you should come by for an acting class. As a matter of fact, I know the teacher. And we also have another class I forgot to mention. It's called Right Club. The Right Club. I'm doing a song for it. I got an idea. It's just the right club, baby. Na 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 na. Sorry guys, that was just an audition. I'm not singing. But this guy is coming to the stage can help you audition a lot better than I can because he has the patience of a saint. And maybe we'll crown him one. The one and only Saint Aaron. Aaron McIntyre, ladies and gentlemen. Let him hear you.
Saint Aaron, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Please follow me. My name is Aaron. It's A-E-R-O-N. It's not A-A-R-O-N because A-A is supposed to be anonymous. Am I right? I am in recovery. Thank you. Thank you. I haven't had a drink in about 23 and a half hours. So I'm going down to the AA meeting. I'm going to get my 24-hour chip. Because I've got about 8,652 of them. And then when I hit 10,000, I'm going to quit. You know? Had enough of waking up on the kitchen floor. Yeah. I want to take this Memorial Day to say things that are not necessarily funny because I have no jokes about my dad. I've got lots of stuff about my mom, but nothing about my dad. My dad was a war hero. He actually went into the Air Force in early in the World War II, became a pilot. He was flying over Japan. He was shot down. He was taken prisoner of war in Japan. Made it out and stayed in the Air Force for 30 years. 30 years.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Thank him.
Yep, and he made it all the way through, and then he died. So that's okay. He would have loved that joke. Come on, he loves that joke. He would have. I remember he was, he was in his bed. He was passing away. He was okay with it, But my sister was sitting there holding his hand. And she's going, "It's okay, Dad. You're going to be in a better place." And he said, "Yeah, I bet they don't have to poop in there." Because he had a hard time. He used to spend hours in the toilet, reading flying magazines. His whole life was flying magazines. He'd sit there for hours. At least I think he was sitting there reading flying magazines. I don't know what the hell he was doing there. He may have been really stopped up. But yeah, he was a great guy. He was a commander for many years, many different Air Force bases, and one of them he was brought in because they were so ineffective. The squadron was so fucked up, and they brought him in to kind of fix it. And so they had this test where they would run the air siren, and then everybody'd have to run out and get on their clothes in the middle of the night and get out into the planes. And he got a review for what he did, and they said there wasn't enough urgency. Okay. So he went and he told the guys, "Just don't tie your boots." And they went through with flying colors. That's all it took. Just don't tie your boots, and everybody will think you're urgent. My mother he was a commander in the Air Force, so everybody always goes, "Oh, he must have been a real hard ass." No, he was the sweetest guy. He was really stoic. Didn't really, give a lot. But he was a great dad. But at home, he was not the commander. Mom was the commander. She used to say, and they'd have arguments all the time. So when I got into my marriage and we started arguing, I thought that was normal, but she didn't because her family were repressive. They would just push the feelings down and then lash out later on. But she used to say this lovely phrase whenever they'd, be in a fight, and we'd go, Dad, why don't you say something? And my mother would say, he wouldn't say shit if he had a mouthful. I thought that was a little harsh, for saving our country. He did. He saved our country. Let's see here. Oh, I did want to talk about babies. Everybody's talking about the Christian right are all about babies. We want to have more babies. You got to make more babies. It's like, well, make a bunch of babies. We're going to be wading through babies here in a second. We're going to come out and there's going to be just dead babies laying everywhere. And you're talking about a bris, is like when they were talking in the Bible about all of the circumcisions that were going on. I mean, they were probably wading through foreskin in ancient Egypt, wherever the fuck they were. I don't know. We gotta let those people go, though. Gotta let those people go. Moses must have been very tired because he worked very hard for God. God was constantly giving him chores, things to do. Go to Mount Sinai, then come back down, then go back up, then come back down. Now you got to go free the Jews from the Pharaoh and, run down there and tell him that you're going to do some stuff, and then he'll say he's going to do it, and then he'll come back, and I promise you the guy is not going to do what you want, so you're going to have to go back down there. And he did it. It's like, why don't you just throw all this shit at him at once? And if they don't do it, then you can pull the Jews out of Egypt and go and part the Red Sea and do all that stuff. Lots of smiting. Lots of smiting. They were smiting everywhere. And it seems like with all the Christian right, they're still smiting. They're just smiting away. I would not want to be smote. What else? Oh. Yeah, I don't know about what's going on in the world. They keep wanting to have more babies, but then they're kicking out all the people who are going to do the jobs that white people don't want to do, right? Did everyone go to sleep just now? Yeah, we're not going to have anybody to do all those jobs, so I guess we'll just bring in the mercenaries from El Salvador. Maybe we'll. I actually wrote a song a long time ago. Now this'll really age me. Wrote a song about El Salvador back when there was this whole thing going on where they were giving them arms and stuff like that. And it started off El Salvador. If you want. Oh fuck! It's been too many years. El Salvador. If you like Vietnam, well, here's some more. So I'm going to rewrite it to bring in the deportations that we're bringing. But haven't found anything dealing with deportations that rhymes with El Salvador. So if anybody's got any ideas, let me know. I am also been to a lot of therapy, lots of therapy. From the time I was 8, there was some shit that happened, and never told anybody what happened until I was like 28. Just kept it a secret, which makes you a good liar, I guess. Which it's good for stand-up, because you could take a little kernel of an idea and just blow it up into like something fucking huge. You know what I mean? Yeah. So bipolar. Thank you. And anybody else bipolar? Raise both hands. No. Also ADD. It's just ADD. I'm not ADHD because I'm way too fucking lazy. Okay, so. And it's not the female kind. Okay? It's like the male kind. Okay? It's ADD that has a dick. Yeah, and then there was one other thing. Whoa, Tourette's. Fuck, I keep forgetting that one. Yeah. I think we all have Tourette's at one point or another, don't you? I mean, driving in the car. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm driving in a car, man. I'm full of Tourette's. Somebody cuts you off, and you're like, and then if somebody gets pulled over that's just cut you off, then you're like, I think that was a little too angry. I think I can't have it be that angry. I've got to find ways to be outraged, right? No, that's not good either. I did watch a video of myself when I was doing a musical one time, and it was way far away, so it's way down there, and all you could see is these eyes.
Oh my God.
All the way from the back.
Tell about your plan.
I think I'm done.
Okay,
I think I'm done, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Yeah, come to the acting class tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. It's a drop-in class. There is no commitment except to yourself. Okay?
Right.
So just come in, have some fun. We got some great comedy scripts that we're working on right now from some of the latest comedies. And you can find me at AERONMACINTYRE everywhere. And now, Sunda! Yeah, that's the classes.
I know,
Yeah.
that's the classes. I know, I'm too pushy. But listen, if you can't memorize anything, it's a great class. It really is, because I can't remember anything. But I do remember this, that if you really want to get some kicks, you got to come out and see this guy at the Mix. Let's give it up for the one and only Patty. Let's hear it for Patty.
Thank you so much. Keep it going if you will. I'm going to make my way up here. You guys can do it. I have faith. I have a lot of faith in you guys. I mean, yes, thank you. Thank you so much. So nice to be here this evening. You were wonderful. I really enjoyed you. Wasn't she great? You look a lot like my daughter, who constantly calls my stand-up comedy skits. Do people call your stand-up comedy skits? So on the way out tonight, she wished me luck with my comedy skits. She's gonna kill me someday. She's gonna kill me. I've seen the Dateline. I know what's gonna happen. I've eliminated all the antifreeze from my home. It's not good. If I seem, some of you might know, others of you might not know, if I seem a little less energetic this evening than usual, it's because I'm waiting for the drugs to kick in. Thank you. It's Flomax mostly. Flomax. My prostate is shrinking as we speak, and I have a touch of stool softener, too. Helps. And of course, just a dab of Matthew Perry's leftover ketamine. Just a little. I just have a little bit. He was a friend of mine. He left it to me in the will. We were AA buddies. It's true. I did know him pretty well, you know. He was very sensitive. You know, I used to have to come from, because if you wore glasses, people always mistook him for Rachel Maddow. That actually did happen. Somebody mentioned Jake Tapper this evening, and we all know who it is, so I'm not going to bring it up again. But it's funny that you bring up Jake Tapper, because that was my porn name. It was my porn name. I had a brief but impactful career in the adult world. Here's the deal. I was a stunt cock. I started as a stunt cock. I'm going to say stunt cock because of the rule of 3. So I just made it the stunt cock. Because at the time, I wanted to be like a full-fledged porn actor, but at the time I was unable to grow a mustache. And that was, I don't know if you've seen the 80s genre, but so I got in there. And all I can tell you is it went well up until a certain point. I was the victim of a reverse cowgirl dismount gone terribly wrong, which kind of, I don't know if you're familiar with Peronis. I know. Peronis? Do you know the Peronis? It sounds like a delicious lunch special at the Olive Garden. It is not. Let's just say that my fella is a lot like my politics. A little to the left. You wouldn't notice. You wouldn't notice. I notice because I remember before, you know. Just never let a stunt woman get on top. You don't want to do that. Yeah, you guys are exciting. I'm excited by you. I'm very happy because my wife and I have agreed that I'm allowed to make noise during sex again. just so I don't wake her up. She'll be in trouble. She gets mad. Well, big fucking trouble. I'm not the greatest lover in the world. I know it's hard to believe when you look at me and say, that guy knows how to lay down the pipe. You know what I mean? Well, it's not true. You know? I failed last night. I failed. And my wife gives me no quarter. She gives me no quarter. I failed. I didn't inspire the tingle. I think you know what I mean. I was no tingle, Patty. Patty didn't get the tingle. So she called. She said, making love to me was like making love to the world's oldest Backstreet Boy. You know what she said? She don't want it that way. Tell me why. Premature ejaculation. Tell me why. Strong words. Tell me why. I don't like premature ejaculation. You know what I prefer? First responder. Thank you. Thank you. Who here doesn't love a first responder? I think this is okay. I wanted to talk about something because, you know, that's what I do. I just basically talk about things. I haven't done a day's physical work in my life. I do not have a gun. Okay. The reason I cannot have a gun is I might be lying. Right? It's so prevalent. There are so many guns in this country, and they're never going away. You know, we're number one. Yeah, we're number one in child diabetes and child gunshot victims. 4% of the world's population, 25% of toddler gun violence. You know that? There's, in this country, 170 times a year, a toddler shoots someone. Do the math. How many times a month does that? A toddler shoots someone. You know what I mean? So I don't like a lot of the talk that I hear about taking these toddlers' gun rights away. Okay? First of all, toddler's got a right to protect himself, right? Immediately, you don't know what the other side of the coin was. That toddler might have been selling weed in the park. You don't know. He might need that gun, is my point. And besides, am I right? At my round of applause, who would agree with me? The only thing that can stop a bad toddler with a gun is a good toddler with a gun. Am I right? Here, here. Any parents here? Anybody procreated? Anybody? We got there. You did the heavy lifting, though. Thank you for that. I like men clap. Yeah, I did that. You didn't do much. I did it. I did the easy part. You know, were you in the room for the births?
Both of them.
Both of them, were you? Okay.
And I also had a march back.
I don't want to hear any more about it. This is my time. You were up here before. That's enough. That's enough. Isn't he in great shape for someone who has completely let himself go? No. Hey! 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 See, I do stuff like that to shock me back into what I was talking about because we're about the same age, you know. So I don't remember shit. You know, my wife is an art major, and she's taken to call me because I'm older. She calls me the Jackson Pollock of the toilet bowl. I don't know what it's supposed to be, but at this age, I'll just tell you. You know, I spend a lot of time streaming. I don't have Hulu or in the bathroom trying to piss for hours at a time. So I used to have like the water pressure of like a power washer. Now I'm like a fucking Tijuana motel, trying to blast my shitty artwork off the side of the bowl. It doesn't fucking work anymore. I'm depressed. You know what's funny is my therapist. She diagnosed me as clinically depressed because I admitted that sometimes I fall asleep while performing cunnilingus. Just get tired. You know, it's tiring. Anybody here ever perform cunnilingus? Yeah, it's rough. It's not easy. It could be a chore. You know. Years ago when I started, you know, some of you don't know, when I started going downtown, you know what I mean? I was seduced by a much older woman. She was a court stenographer, and I met her at a mall, the Schaumburg Mall in the arcade. I was selling weed. And I'm just telling you, I wound up out in her car. She had a Buick Estate 9-passenger wagon, and I think her husband was bowling. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure because I came all over his parka. That's right. But she was gray. Completely gray, you know what I mean? So I went downtown, you know what I mean? Her pussy looked like Steve Martin. Fucking love Steve Martin. Are you kidding me? Plus she had hip replacement. It was kind of rough to really go at it. You know what I mean? This has been great. It's like like a canvas painting of trout. This is a lovely place to be, and it's a lovely. But I mean that you guys have been adequate. You can give yourself a round of applause. Maybe I'll find something I've written. Maybe you guys would like something like that. I want. Me and my wife were over at Gino's East Pizza over there in Sherman Oaks, and a very hot trans woman walked by. You know, I don't hate trans people. A very hot trans woman walked by, and I looked at that trans woman, and I just looked at my wife, and I said, "You better up your fucking game, baby. You better up your game." I'm telling you what. Look, I'm just telling you. I'm saying I know I'm not gay. I love the female form, but if you're better at impersonating it than she is at being it, I'll cosplay with you. I'll buy your costume. Yeah, sure. That's okay, guys. I'm gonna end my set, and thank you very much. You've been tremendous. But I'm gonna end my set by quoting famed comedian Louis C.K. Thank you for allowing me to expose myself. You guys have been fantastic. Let's bring the mistress on this island of misfit toys up to the stage. Give it up for Sunda Kronquist. I'm Patty, Paddyfor, Comedy. I booked The Mix, which is a club in I forgot where it was. I forgot where my club is. It's in Pasadena, and it's stand-up comedy. We've been there 3 years, so adios, muchachos and muchachas.
There you
Give it
go.
up for Sunda
Oh my
Kronquist.
God. How can I follow something like that? I'm a clean act. Yeah, right. I wanted to go on Just Fans, or is it Fans Only? Only Fans just for dirty comedy. 'Cause I
They're
used to
doing
just-
it.
They do.
They do?
For comics. Yeah, Jack Shaw's on there, yeah. Only, what is it
It's-
called? Only, what is
It's
it
not
called?
OnlyFans, and it's not all filth. A lot of it
It's
is
just
comedians
comedy.
are doing it, and people pay and they see your bits. And I mean, you could do it naked if you choose.
Only what is it
Oh,
called?
naked. Oh,
But, you know,
forget
they
about
don't do
it.
Wait,
They
you can
don't
do
do
whatever
it
you want.
naked. Just because it's on OnlyFans.
No,
I mean,
no.
people-
Oh, I
they're
see
pe-
what you mean.
yeah,
Right.
They're
It's a
just
way to
doing
make
bits,
money, yeah.
and people pay to see your.
Well, then I have to get I have to get a stomach double. I'll tell the jokes. By the way, how did you know they had cut it off? How did you know that they had cut it off, Patty? With your trans joke.
What's that?
How did you know they had cut it off already?
I didn't. I wasn't worried.
It didn't matter.
Look, it does matter to me. First of all, I prefer organic pussy or factory installed pussy in my history. But the thing is, that never happened. It's not a documentary. I make shit up sometimes.
Oh.
And I thought to myself, because I was looking, I'm not a documentarian. I actually write this shit sometimes.
I will tell you something, and then before I bring the next
Because you
act,
see 'em
I
in-
was at a night in the village where I was like, I better up my game. Seriously. I mean, seriously, like really to be a lady with the kiss and the everything. I was like, wow, I really got to up my game. And I was embarrassed because an Orthodox Jew came in, and I wasn't embarrassed because of that. He said I didn't know what night it was. It was drag night at this place, Pangea in the village. And I wasn't embarrassed that he was there with his yarmulke, but I was embarrassed that he says, "How much do I have to pay?" And I'm like, why would you have to do that? Why? And Samantha to tell me to say, I didn't even know what was going on here. I just walked by in a black coat and 85-degree weather and a hat. Come on, you gotta pay. You gotta pay because you sweat. And I made you guys sweat enough because I've got for you the talent of the Latino muchacho that's making it wave here. Come on, let's give it up for the one and only Billy Ramirez.
¿Qué pasa, familia? Es un placer estar aquí. Sorry, they had it set to Spanish. I bet some of you didn't know I could do that. Yes, I am Latino, Mexican. I like to call myself an office Latino because that sets expectations. That I'm not the kind of Mexican Latino that's going to fix your transmission or re-roof your house. But I could put together a website or a PowerPoint a toda madre. That means just terrific. So let's see what's new with me. I kind of want to try fentanyl. To be very honest with you, yeah, it's advertising does work. Not too long ago, saw an ad on the back of a bus. Very simple ad. All it said was, one line, one pill, fentanyl kills. And as soon as I read it, I threw up the devil horns because that sounded freaking awesome. I initially thought it was a new band called Fentanyl promoting their new single, One Line, One Pill. Like when I read it, immediately an AC/DC song started playing in my head. You know, like one line, one pill, dee doo dee doo dee doo doo. Fentanyl kills. It's amazing. So now I kind of want to try fentanyl, but I don't know. It's dangerous. So to be honest, I'm kind of concerned for whoever came up with that ad because I mean, if it's affecting me this way, surely it's going to affect others, and they might have just a bad day one day. Just like, what's that? We lost another one. Oh, geez. Like, was it my ad? Oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I was trying to make it sound educational, but it ended up sounding freaking awesome. I'm sorry. Anyways. So thank you for joining me in my midlife crisis. I'm a middle-aged man trying to be a comedian. I think if anyone tells you that they're trying to be a comedian, like, things aren't working out, right? It's like, well, it's like the opposite of signing up for an MBA or something, It's just, yeah. Anyways, but yeah, I love comedy. I've been doing it for a few years, but I've loved it my entire life because I'm attracted to careers where it's impossible to make money, like comedy and writing and playing drums. And if I could somehow get a job being a professional dog petter, I would do that. Just like, hey, look at this doggy. I just want to do that my entire life. But I think part of the issue is that I entered college as a computer science major, but then it turns out that I'm not that good at math, so I ended up changing to the default fallback degree. Anyone want to take a guess? Communication, yeah. Communications, yeah. And then I should have known. I mean, I should have seen the warning signs because I was already embarked on my journey towards my so lucrative communications degree. Meanwhile, during that time, The Simpsons, literally the second episode of the millennium, there was an episode where the kicker for Springfield University injures his leg at the big rivalry game. And in the locker room, Dr. Julius Hibbert tries to comfort the poor kicker, and he tells him, "Oh, I'm afraid you'll never play football again. At least you can fall back on your degree in communications. Oh, dear Lord, no." And the kicker goes, "Yes, I know he's a funny major. Lubchenko learned nothing." But fortunately, I find that joke funny now because they say that comedy is tragedy plus time. And, well, certainly enough time has passed, and the tragedy is a communication degree. I'm in my 40s. I still feel relatively young, but there's signs that I'm slowing down. Like, for example, I was at a concert not too long ago, and the headliner was about to start, and there was like 7 openers. So the problem is my bedtime and headliner set times are starting to disagree. If the headliner would start at 3:45 p.m., that'd be great. I could have an early dinner, but no, it's 11:43, and so I figured just to be safe, I should go get an energy drink. So I went to the concession stand. I saw the energy drinks, Monster and Red Bull, and then I spotted one. It caught my attention because it looked like it was dressed like it played bass for Slayer. So I bought it, cracked it open, took a sip, and it turns out that Liquid Death is just water. Yeah, it's just water. Liquid Death is named after probably the most precious, the most crucial element for life. But no, it's Liquid Death. It's not even water from Flint, Michigan, or agua de Mexico that gives you a chorro. No, it's it's water. It is. I'm still kind of shocked because the can. It's got a skull and tattoo fonts, and it looks like it drives an '87 Camaro, drunk, and peeps on teenage girls. I thought I was drinking, something that was going to give me heart palpitations or demon blood, but no, it's just water. It just felt like the first time I heard the music of the band Kiss. So I grew up in the '80s and '90s, and I was scared of Kiss because they had the makeup and the boots and the fire and the devil tongues. And then I heard the music of Kiss, and it's basically like, "I want to rock you Saturday night, Detroit Rock City rules," like dorks. I'm like, what is that? But I think the thing that annoys me the most about Liquid Death is that I, who has worked in marketing, didn't come up with a brilliant idea to dress water up like it was like the headliner for Ozfest '99 to get dudes to drink it. Yeah, it's like a big manly water. That's a beautiful. Oh my God, that's a beautiful strategy. Because Aquafina, like a regular water, I'm not gonna drink that. Regular water does cardio. Like I want to drink Liquid Death. Liquid Death lifts weights. Like Aquafina, that sounds too girly. Dasani sounds like a yoga instructor. La Croix is probably French for me. I speak to your manager. But no, Liquid Death, that sounds like a felony. Liquid Death stole a motorcycle and jumped out of a cop car. I'll drink to that. Yeah, whew, let's go with that. Also, I get a kick out of seeing all these dudes drink Liquid Death, and like surely a lot of them are the same ones that would say like, well, back when I was growing up, I used to drink right from the hose, like right from just attached to the wall, right from the hose, and the rubber aftertaste was cancer, and I didn't care. I grew up fine, But like it's fine to drink regular water. You don't have to dress it up like it's heading to the octagon for a UFC heavyweight championship fight. It's just Liquid Death. If you want Liquid Death, why don't you try the first 10 seconds of July hose water? Like that's not only Liquid Death, that's murder suicide. But Liquid Death's tagline is murder your thirst. Like, well, fellas, why don't you pick up the hose, take a couple sips, because your thirst is murdering you. Let's see. So now that you know that I hablo español y todo eso, I have a piece of Spanish trivia for you about the band Maroon 5. So check this out. I bet you didn't know this. Did you know that the band Maroon 5 has a different name in Latin American countries? Did you know that? Yeah, it's true. In Latin American countries, Maroon 5 is known as Cinco Putos, and that's true because I saw it. It's true because I saw it on Wikipedia when I put it there. Was that another band joke? Sure. How about this one? My favorite thing about the music of Mumford & Sons is that we know exactly who to blame. I love living in LA. I'm from the Bay Area, but LA there's more Mexicans down here. I love it. There's better Mexican food, and all these Mexican restaurants offer me an opportunity to act like an undercover Latino. I love doing that. Like, for example, when I go to a Mexican restaurant and I overhear someone order something like a chicken quesadilla, chicken fajitas, chimichangas, or something like that. Like, oh, by the way, it's a shame that the singer Celia Cruz and the actor Eric Estrada never teamed up for anything. You could have had a variety show called Chips and Salsa. That was on the house. But yeah, whenever it's my turn to order, I just can't resist going completely overboard. And basically start auditioning for a telenovela that nobody's shooting. Like all of a sudden, it could be pitch dark night and like the sun's in my eyes and talking to a dude. It doesn't matter. He's gonna be called belleza en este momento. Yo deseo 3 tacos de carne asada, una peña fiel, 2 churros y muchas gracias, buen provecho, que Dios te bendiga. When I'm feeling confident, extra confident, I'll throw in some bonus words like, entonces, por supuesto, crepúsculo. Whatever. But the problem is, I have this face and demeanor, so sometimes I'll order in fluent español, and then in return I'll get a, okay, do you want... Fine, Jose, I will have some of that green whack-a-mole, whatever it's called. I know what it is, but it really doesn't matter where or when I hablo español, because whenever I do, I go completely overboard and basically turn into one of those Latino reporters you see on the news. I don't know if anyone still watches the local news, but if you do, pay attention to any reporter whose last name ends in EZ, like Ramirez, and notice that they're going to take any and every opportunity to celebrate the rich cultural tapestry of the Spanish language, and that's how I hablo español, like a Latino reporter wrapping up a segment, something like, police don't have any further information on the suspect, reporting live from El Camino Real in Santa Clara. This is Gustavo Gutierrez. El mero más chingón, tú sabes, güey, for ABC 7 News. Back to you, Nancy. Thank you. My name is Billy Ramirez. You can find me at BillyRamirez.com and at Instagram at middleaged muchacho. And please, to close out the show, let's welcome back our queen, Sunda Kronquist.
Love the shirt. Oh, they love the shirt. Isn't it cool?
It's fun.
It's so much fun. I can't sell them. He doesn't. Everybody that works here, everybody has ideas. We have ideas. That's it. We don't do it. I've never seen anything like it. We're gonna get the T-shirts done. We're gonna do this. But if you guys are thinking of doing a podcast here, that's a great place. This is a great place to podcast. We have someone that's coming in next week. She's gonna be doing a show here during the day. I might need some help. But yeah, I just thought about it. And she also did pageants. Yeah. I wonder if you should have competition. Can you imagine me on Mrs. America falling down? Oh my God. Can you imagine this? If they have those old women on Mrs. America? Oh my God.
Clumsy pageant.
I would win the klutzy pageant, yes.
I would put that up on my network, Clumsy Pageant Queens.
Oh my God. But never once did it happen. But boy, backstage, and I'd fucking fall. And I had a, what do you call it? a hot wand. What's it called? I don't do my hair. Curling iron. Oh, and I left it on the seat. And one of the competitors sat on it.
You did that on purpose.
I so did not. She was so kind. She let me sleep over her house and borrow her sister's white jumpsuit. And I ate blueberry, what do you call it, cotton candy, and it was all over me. And it turned purple in the, because I worked in a dry cleaners, and everything about dry cleaning, I could steal your clothes and return them. But I could not get these stains out. And the girl, I never claimed that it was me who left the thing there. I was so embarrassed. It was horrible to get you sitting on a curling iron, hot. Because I was turning around to go get it, and I heard, ah! I was like, oh, God. Then another girl came out. She had a cast on. I was just like, what is the point? Why are you here in a cast? Is it wrong of me to say that?
Pageant mom.
I don't know. She was just crazy. Pageant days. I had teeth. It was different. But you guys have a lot going on here. So many great things. The Right Club is a lot of fun. That's what Dustin Chapin, really, he's great. You've got Aaron here. If you need a self-tape, you know, he's great. And if you self-tape him, he'll tell you, why would you stop? I was in my moment. And Samantha's just fantastic. And thank you all. And make sure you come out here Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. My name is Sunda Kronquist. Check out my special on Amazon Prime. It's called Sunda Kronquist Live from Hollywood. Enjoy. Good night.